Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hopefully, it's the first of many. I guess time will tell. We'll see how this plays out. So, when I was thinking about doing this channel, I was thinking there's a lot of people that have done it already, and it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel or anything here, but I'm trying to be a little different. Just not sure how just yet. So, some of my thoughts were I'm talking music. I love music. I mean, I've loved music since I was a little kid. You just know this stuff. Uh, you're different. I wanted to play guitar. I actually wanted to play drums first when I was very young, and that didn't pan out like I hoped it would. Just for financial reasons, my parents weren't going to buy me a huge drum set at 8 years old. So um, I eventually got a job, saved up, and bought myself my first guitar. It was an acoustic guitar. I believe I was 12 years old. So that's how it started. So, like I said, I just, talking to people, talking music to people and stuff is important. When you run into somebody that's really into music and plays an instrument, it's like they're a long lost friend. You've got this communication going on between the two of you that's incredible, and it's like you've been old friends for forever. I love that connection. um, Learning more ways to express ourselves with our instrument. There's a million ways you can play certain things. uh, I find that pretty fascinating depending on the mood you're in. Angry, sad, I play a little different all the time. uh, so these are kind of untapped caves that you can go down and experiment with other things. I love to look up new chords that I've never played before, because once I start using them, all of a sudden I go, "Oh, that's the chord they use in that song," or that's where they got that. It opens a new doorway for you, which is pretty awesome. Uh, It's just that you have to decide to walk through that door and experiment with it. And it's usually not easy at the beginning. I mean, you know that by now. Everything takes a little time for it to fit in. I love to play something to death until I don't have to think about it anymore. And I just play it. You get a lot more feeling out of it then, because you're not so worried about, am I playing it exactly right? Am I muting the wrong notes? So let me see. So, as I was saying, learning different ways to express ourselves. I'm sure you've heard the term, sometimes less is really more. Uh, I'll get into that as soon as I tell you about this song. Um, and the main thing for me is making friends, making new friends in this music community. Like I said, I love when people comment on things. I like that connection with people. So feel free to comment on stuff. I I don't want to be beat down though, obviously. I want this to be a friendly place for people to go so they don't have to worry about, some crazy people coming on here just wanting to complain about everything, because I'm pretty sure they complain about life in general. So I just don't need that on me. So the song I just played that you just heard was, I named it Out of the Ashes. Actually, my wife named it that. Uh, just because of the ending of it changes, and it's kind of, you know, a reborn kind of thing. There's a lot of energy towards the end that I was dealing with, and I fought myself with this song because what you heard was might have been the 10th take of it. I I wrote the song, I recorded it, I started playing lead to it, and I I didn't want to play super fast leads over the whole thing just to say, hey, I can play fast leads. I tried it once or twice on there and it just didn't sound right. This music called for something else. I felt like it needed, this is just me personally, but I felt like it needed these cool little bluesy chops in there and stuff, and a little bit of this and more feeling than anything, which is where, if you go back to the less is more, I felt like taking that angle a little less uh, made it a little more. Uh, I didn't want to bury the whole track with some crazy stuff. So I felt like I played what it needed. I was overthinking it way too much, which I'm pretty sure a lot of musicians do that. So I ended up with what you heard as the final cut, and just said, you know what, I'm gonna just accept that, and we're gonna move on from there. So that's what that was. So when I decided to do this YouTube channel, I was thinking, wow, this ought to be a walk in the park. Just set your phone up, record yourself sitting there playing through a loud amp, and uh, don't even get me started on the lights, because the lights are are a whole different monster in its own. So it was a huge learning curve. I spent a lot of time, uh, learning the lighting, watching a lot of videos, and it was just never ending. But like I said, I thought it would be really easy, but there's so much that goes into it to create what I feel like I would want to see if I'm on YouTube, which I'm on YouTube a lot. I follow a lot of really good people out there that put out a great product. I mean, it's incredible, and they're very friendly and stuff, and it makes me want to go back and see what they're up to all the time, and that's what I want to that's what I want to represent here. I want a place for people to be able to talk about things. And me personally, it doesn't even have to be about music. If you got a problem and you want to vent, and I'm all for it. Uh, so I'm not limited to just music, but that's where I'm at right now, um, doing the music and stuff. Uh, so the song I just talked about and where that kind of came from. So my guitar is a signature. It's a Richie Kotzen, a signature model. I love this guitar. If if you asked me if I was on a desert island with electricity and I had my guitar and a small amp, what pedals I would bring that I would absolutely need, it would be a compressor, the delay, and a reverb. I love just that tone. I love goofing around with that tone. I feel comfortable with that. So those were my three go to pedals. Uh, but all right, getting back to the guitar. So here's what I got. I got the guitar. I'm running my guitar through my Line 6 pod. It's an HD 500X. Uh, then it goes out of that, goes into uh, my Focusrite interface, and then it goes into my laptop. Then I downloaded the app Cakewalk by BandLab, which I happen to really love. Not only that it's free, but I was told it was one of the more easier ones to work with if you knew nothing you know about those. Uh, and then when that's done and the music's done and the video's done, then I go on to CapCut, and that's a video editor, and that is very friendly to use. I'm surprised at how quickly I've picked up some stuff on there. Not a lot. Now, if you, I got a laptop probably 2 years ago, 2 years ago, learned how to use a laptop. Never had to. I could barely function with my phone. So I got my laptop, started working with that, and it's just been an uphill climb to the point where I finally was able to create some music on the laptop with all this stuff, and then learning CapCut and stuff, and going from there. Uh, I've got to this point, so there, but I'm just scratching the surface on this stuff. I'm not full of knowledge yet with all this, but this is where I am right now.